Hi everyone. I want to do this idea that popped in my head the other day, so I'm hoping it's going to turn out. So I'm going to use a black pillow on this 12-inch cradled wood board from Mallee. I have taped up the back. This is where the cradled part is, but I'm very messy, so I try to tape it up. And let me get my little additional light. I forgot it. And then we'll get started. So the idea that I had in my head was that I wanted to use a black pillow, and I wanted to use Fairy Wings, which is one of the glitz colors, and Tropic Blue, another glitz color. Make sure you guys can see. Okay. I tried this other setup thinking I would get a better angle. Did not work out. Okay. I still feel like you can't see the whole thing, so anyway, so I'll show you the colors, and I figured we would throw in these two Boom Gel colors because they kind of match the colors in my head. So that's Goldfinch Mauve and Mallee Ringneck Blue. Sorry if you hear my dogs, I just fed them, and so now they're hyped up. So we're gonna do a palette knife swipe, kind of a negative space swipe. So I love it when these go well, but the last time, well, the last one went okay, but the one before that did not go well, so I'm a little like gun shy. I don't want to spend 15 hours trying to make it work. So the black pillow I'm using is Onyx. I think it's Black Onyx by Colourarte in satin finish. I really like this pillow, and it's reasonably priced, so for what it's worth, I like it. If you saw Sunday's catastrophe, where I had the swipe that I really hated, I didn't hate it. It's not true. It wasn't what I was going for, and so I was debating on whether or not to paint over it or to just resin it, because someone always likes something that I may not particularly like. My husband thinks it's very beautiful, but it cracked a little. So my husband still said to resin it, and that it would be hardly noticeable. I probably could fill in the cracks, but I was kind of like, wow, is it a sign? Let me get my tweezers. But, you know, sometimes I love the color. I just didn't really like the way it turned out. I think I have a goober in here somewhere. Maybe it's just a bubble. All right, so these are the colors I'm going to use. I'm going to kind of lay them down as we go for the sake of time. So this is, actually I'm going to do this a little bit different. I'm going to use Angel Wings, which is, I hope you can see this. It's one of the new Bling colors from Colourarte, and it's like a smoky pearl with an interference blue, like a blue shift. Super beautiful. So I'm going to put kind of a hefty amount of that one on here. My pillow is starting to come out over the sides here. I guess that's no big deal. All right. I find the days that I think that I'm going to really get a chance to do something and just really enjoy the benefits of that art therapy life, that sometimes I'm just like not able to muster it up for some reason, and that's just not me at all. So heavy helping of that. We're going to use Mallee Ringneck Blue, actually on top of this one. Sorry, I'm kind of going as I go. I'm going to use Midnight Blue. I'm just going to use a little bit for some contrast from Matisse. I'm going to probably use a little bit of that toward the top too. And I was really torn on what color cell activator. I mixed up blue black. But then I was like, should I do silver? Because I have some silver that kind of needs to be used. Or should I do some aqua green and the blue black? Because I also have aqua green that needs to be used as well. So I think that's the direction I'm going to try to go. So now I'm going to put a little bit of Mallee Ringneck Blue Boom Gel. Don't forget, you can get 15% off
of the Boom Gel Stain from Pixel Paint Designs using my code Mandy15. She also sells Australian Floetrol, shipped from the US, so that's always a win if you're needing some. And she had some as of yesterday. I don't know if she still does or not. But if she doesn't, she'll get some, so just keep an eye out on the website. And she's such a delight to work with. So, and then of course Colourarte, 20% off the Colourarte website, anything. The Bling It colors, which you can buy individually now too, by the way. This is Rain. This is one of the Bling It colors. This is a smoky pearl with a green shift. And we're gonna put this one on here too. They're so beautiful. And recently they've been posted individually, and you can see what they look like in resin and in acrylic pouring, which is super cool. All right, so this is Ultramarine Violet from Amsterdam. I love this color, but I don't use it a lot. So in my head, what I saw was a Fairy Wings kind of Tropic Blue swipe with some darker colors as an accent. And I thought, well, this will be good because this color is, it's not necessarily similar to Fairy Wings, but it's kind of in a similar color family. So I thought it would be a nice color to accentuate. So I know I'm using a lot of colors, but I have this in my head to try. So I thought, well, I'll just not be too worried about using too many colors. And then the next thing I'm going to use is, I'm going to use a little bit of this Goldfinch Mauve color from Boom Gel Stain. You see how it's just a little bit of a dark, this is sort of like a medium violet meets a mauve color. Like medium violet from Golden is kind of a similar color, only this is a little bit lighter. So I like it. I'm going to add a little bit more Midnight Blue just for some contrast in the middle here. Chloe is being very insistent that I let her outside. Let me let her outside so she can stop clanking around with her toes.
Goodness. Okay. Sorry about that. So we put a little bit more Midnight Blue. Now I'm going to put, this is my custom mix of Greek Isles and Laguna Azul. I stumbled upon this using up some colors that I just didn't have a lot left over. And I stumbled upon these two mixed together and how gorgeous of a color they make together. That's the beauty of using Colourarte, is you can take from one shade and tint another one or vice versa and really create some gorgeous custom mixes. Sometimes by accident, like this one. You can tell I really like it, right? Because I'm just slopping it on there. All right. So then we're going to use Fairy Wings. So this was one of the ones that was really in my head to use for this one. So I do want a fair amount of this one. So this is one of the glitz colors. And it's gorgeous. So the glitz, if you're not sure what the difference is between the glitz and the regular primary elements, the glitz are semi-opaque. So they have a little bit more opacity than the regular ones, which makes them a little bit easier to use if you're a beginner, because as a beginner, you may not quite have a knack for how to layer paints to kind of factor in transparent and all that. Ideally, you kind of want a blend of transparent, semi-transparent, semi-opaque, opaque, whatever, because all of those will play well together. And this one is Tropic Blue. I just have a ton of paint on here. But if you remember my last black swipe, I swiped too heavy and I lost a lot of my color. It's almost like I'm not gonna lose you this time, you know? Okay. Now I do need a little bit of contrast on the top because I'm gonna swipe with aqua, or sorry, I keep saying aqua green, but that's not what Amsterdam calls it. Turquoise green. So I need a little bit of contrast toward the top. And put up my stuff because I'm gonna spin and I don't wanna spin stuff into this paint.
So, oh crap, I just shot paint on myself. Good thing I'm wearing a painting shirt. I don't know how people paint in regular clothes. I am so messy. Every time I see people painting in nice clothes, I'm like, ooh, you shouldn't be doing that. Okay, so I'm going to swipe with Blue Black from Atelier and Turquoise Green from Amsterdam. I was really tempted to use 2 other colors, but I really feel like I have a lot of color. I only have a little bit of this color left, but I don't want it to take over, so I'm going to put just a smidge of a little bit of Rain, just for a little contrast, and a little bit of Midnight Blue, just because the aqua green is light. I'm going to use them both together, so I'm not super worried about that, but I just want to help it along. And, you know, this may do nothing for me, but I'm doing it, so. So I don't want the aqua green to be super dominant, because I kind of want this to be kind of a deep, beautiful colored swipe. So I'm going to layer them together. I'm going to kind of drizzle the aqua green and the blue black. And I don't know if it's going to work or not, to be perfectly honest with you, because I haven't done a whole lot of that. So I'm going to use the blue black as the top color. And again, if you've seen me talk about this before, you don't want to smother your palette knife. You want to cover it evenly, and then, like, I have too much on here, so I'm going to wipe some of it off. And all I'm going to do is just kind of drizzle. I don't know if I can show you without getting it everywhere. I'm just going to drizzle some of this on here. There's a stupid fly in here. Tell you, I'm gonna take revenge on the flies and the mosquitoes. As soon as I figure out what's gonna work, it's on, because I'm tired of them. So my hope is that this turquoise green will just create some lacing around the cells of the blue black. That's my hope. Okay, I'm nervous. Let me make sure you can still see. I'm nervous every time. I don't know why. Okay. All right. Oh, I'm doing it again. I was about to scoop the pillow into the whole design again, so I compromised the edge a little bit to try to avoid that. I don't know how I keep doing that. It's so annoying. But so far, that's kind of exactly what I had in mind, other than the edge, but I could fix the edge. Oh, I don't know why, like, one day it's like, bam, nailed it. And then other days it's like, what the heck? Why is that happening? I know I'm kind of heavy-handed, so I'm sure that it's my fault. But it's so frustrating. I'm like, painting's supposed to be therapeutic, not frustrating. So when it gets frustrating, I just want to go sit down and be like, nope, not today. All right, I'm doing the same thing. I'm just not going to do it over the painting, because now there's a very good chance that I'll drip it. But I kind of like the way that that cell activator turned out, and it's kind of doing exactly what I wanted. So, oh, I'm nervous again. Okay, here we go. Like, I feel like I'm not going deep enough, but it's selling up great, especially because it has boom gel in it. I'll tell you, boom gel is like magical in helping with cell formation. It is so nice because it creates these fun little bubbly cells. So let me put my cell activator, well, I may not want to put it away. I'm gonna get a toothpick and pop some bubbles or a skewer or whatever and figure out what I need to work on. I want to let this develop. I know it's not perfect. I'm not that worried about it. I'll get a smaller palette knife for this snafu over here and see if I can't fix it. There's a goober right here. Look at me trying to pull it out the wrong way. Like I don't have any sense, and I haven't messed up paintings plenty of times before. Whew, sometimes. Some people's kids, you know? I know better, and I was about to mess it up anyway. All right, there's lots of bubbles because I just mixed up a couple of those colors, and Jo Sonia has lots of bubbles. So when you can, it's not a rule, but when you can, it makes sense to let your paint set first. And some of those bubbles will kind of rise to the top. So there's some things that I love about this. What I don't love is this random piece of aqua green. You probably can't even see it, so no point in really overly explaining it. So, and there's some wispies here. I'm just going to help connect them. If you watch me, you know this is one of the things that I do, and I'm not sure that it helps, but I think it does. And just opening up the places where there's cell activator in case there's color underneath. However, I like pillow cells, so those will not bother me. And then I just need to figure out where to create some interest. So sorry if you can see my head. There's some places here where I didn't swipe very well, and there's like a ribbon of color. And I thought about grabbing a palette knife and working it, but I kind of like it. And it creates a little bit of contrast just because it's not only cells. So I think I'm gonna leave it alone. Okay. And I really thought I needed to correct some stuff on the sides, but I don't know that I do. So let's start by figuring out where it makes sense to kind of wreck it in the middle. I don't like to wreck it where it has really perfect, not perfect, but really beautiful cell movement that all flows together. So I kind of like it to follow a line that makes sense. That may not matter, but that's my logic. So this kind of already goes this way. So I'm going to do that. It may not do a great job because there's still so much paint on there. I might should spin it out a little bit first. But I think it's going to help because it's going to add a little bit of contrast right there. Not contrast, but you know what I mean. And what I did here on the edges looks real crazy, so I'm just going to, it's probably going to spin off, but I'm going to try to help it just in case. So, and I'll do the same over here. I've got so much paint on my hands, you guys. And then I'm always afraid to mess with this part, but I think I should. That may not have worked very well. We'll see. I'm not gonna freak out about it yet. But I'm just trying to like create some lines. Oh my gosh, I think I need to spin more before I mess with it. See if I can't get that off of there. This is why I see no point in getting a manicure right here. Now I can actually take some of that and make it look pretty. I was watching Charmin Khan today. Oh my gosh, she's so talented. And if you don't watch her, you should check her out. Like the way she embellishes is beautiful. Y'all know that that's not my strong suit. I'm gonna get there, but I always admire people that it's like logical to them. I think it takes a creative streak to kind of get there. You stupid fly, I'm gonna come for you and you will die soon. I'm very aggressive about the flies and the mosquitoes. I feel like I'm under constant assault by them. It's probably the worst it's been in years. All right, I think I better spin it and then mess with it some more if I need to, because I'm probably working on details that are gonna go completely off the side. Yep, because I had a lot of pillow paint on there. But this is, I'm pleased to say that this is exactly the color scheme I had in mind. That doesn't always work out, but when it does, we rejoice, you know? So I'm very pleased to say that this is what I wanted and it's happening. So I'm just trying to open up the middle a little bit. I do want negative space, but instead of just spin until I get enough paint off, that's gonna screw up my composition. So Now it's moving nicely. I have enough movement in the middle, so if I can open it up, maybe tilt it in some ways to kind of create some movement that's not so straight across, which I always end up doing no matter how much I don't want to do that. It's also going to help us tilt off some of that paint. Now, pillow paint, black pillow paint always looks kind of charcoal or gray to me. It does dry darker. So if you ever have that experience where you're like, I want black, it does dry darker, and it's very elegant looking in my opinion. I love swipes on a black background, especially really sparkly ones. I mean, I love really sparkly everything, but they look so dramatic, and that's one of the things I like about them. And sometimes you may not be able to see some of that drama until you get up closer, but I love the way they look. So I'm just kind of, I may still spin again, but I'm also kind of paranoid now. I haven't had a painting crack in a long time. So, and it didn't seem like it had too much paint left on it. So I'm thinking some of my colors that I used for that painting on Sunday they were old and like really old. And I tried to resurrect them, but I think they might have just been too thick. So might have been better for a bloom where they were going to get really blown out. Okay, slow spin. I think I better see if I'm going to do any more embellishing here. Let me clean my hands really quick. I hope you guys can still see. I have black fingers covered in paint. I love the color. This one kind of looks like it has a weird swan head, and like the swan's tucking its nose in to its feathers or whatever that's called. You guys may not be able to see that.
There you are. I hope you can see.
I have you zoomed in as much as I can so you can see the details, but okay, let me get some of this paint off. And I'm trying to decide where we should have some more. I think I'm going to mess with the swan head. I think this is where this challenges me a little bit, which is good. We all need to be challenged, right? But it challenges me being very intentional about where I want to make adjustments and what I'm hoping to see. And in fluid art, that hasn't always been something that I've really had to do. That's like art, regular painting and stuff, which I'm not great at. So I think it challenges me to like kind of get a vision for where I want it to go and try to create. So that's kind of cool. It's bad when the thing I have to get the goobers out seems like it has something on it. Okay, I think I have an idea. We'll see. Oh, I already have paint on the floor. How did I even do that? See what I mean about messy? But these colors together are amazing. And I love how the use of the 2-cell activators, like some places there's like cute little opaque turquoise green cells, and then there's a lot more blue-black, which is what I wanted. But it creates some pockets of like brighter color. Okay, I'm nervous. I feel like I have to concentrate. Y'all are probably like never hearing me this quiet. I didn't really like that one. It's there though, like it or not, you know. Okay, I don't hate that. I don't really like the way this one turned out. I kind of just wish I had left it alone. I saw the writing on the wall with that not going too well, what I was just doing right there. All I did was basically take some of the stuff lingering on the outside, and I tried to bring it back out. Okay. Just doing very small things, mostly because I'm a little fearful of messing this up. Because so far, I really like it. This kind of looks like like an eyebrow right here. You probably can't see it because it's very transparent, that particular part. I feel like I better not mess with this too much. Let's see how much paint we still have on. Spin a little bit. One thing that's cool about a wood round is they dry pretty quickly, but they also dry pretty evenly because, especially these thick ones, because the back is thicker, so a canvas sometimes dries too fast. The wood, with the bloom recipe, most of them dry overnight either way. I don't know, the black ones don't always, but I'm so nervous about something cracking now since that happened to that last one. I always end up with one weird, oh, you know what I might do? I might mess with my weird line. I always end up with one weird, like, Horton Hears a Who pointy line looking like a hummingbird nose. But what if I kind of messed with it so it looked, I might be getting a little adventurous for my level here. But I guess that's the only way you grow, right? You adventure. I was watching one of Nikki's swipes the other day, and I love her swipes. And I was like, man, how does she do that? She makes it look like a cakewalk too. And I was like, that's amazing looking. Okay. I don't know if I should be doing this. Maybe not. I kind of like that little doodad looking thing. It takes away the hummingbird beak a little bit. It's kind of what I wanted, you know? I mean, we don't always need a hummingbird beak. I always seem to have one. So now I just want to kind of rock it back and forth to see if I can get it to open up. I don't want to do that too much because it will warp the cells, but I do still have a little bit too much paint. So I'm just trying to spread it out a little bit without spinning it off each side, because I don't really want to do that. So the other thing you can do is, like, I have my turner up. You can sort of turn it in a circular motion really slowly, and then it's gonna potentially move in a way that's not just like horizontal or vertical, right to left, left to right. It's gonna kind of follow that movement. But honestly, even if I left it just like this now, I'm happy because there's enough interest in it where it's not just like a straight across line. So I'm gonna spin it just a little bit. And as soon as I feel like there's enough paint off, I'm gonna knock it off because I don't wanna mess it up. And I think some of the places where I messed with the blue black, I have these weird like blue wispy lines, but I don't hate that, so it's okay. And once you start to get enough pillow paint off, it won't quite move as much, and then you kind of know I'm almost there, you know? That's what I'm seeing happen here. Okay. So I'm wiggling to see if we have a lot of jiggle. I don't really feel like we do. I think I'm happy with it. I have my weird swan beak, and my hummingbird nose is different, so that's something. I have some bubbles to pop, but I like it. I'm tempted to spin it one more small time because I still have just a lot of paint coming off the side. So just to make sure. But I really like it. I think I'm gonna clean up and I'm gonna bring you down for a close-up. Sorry this was a little long, but sometimes, again, I think it's important that you be part of the process. I don't always do that, but when I can, I think it's important.
Because you can see what I learned along the way.
Right, I'm going to do a close-up right here, and I may move it to the mat and see if it's a better view. My flash burned out on me because my battery was dying, so it took a little bit. But you can see the beautiful colors. This is exactly the colors I had in mind, so I'm really happy that they show and there's enough contrast to make it work. We got our weird little swan head beak. This could be like called Swan's Really Sparkly Lake. I'm just kidding. I don't really name paintings. I'm bad at that. I really like that. I'm glad I did that. Sorry if I have paint on my fingers still. But I have my cord connected, so you may hear it sliding as I'm trying to hold my phone. But this is going to look really cool resined, I think. I'm going to try to show you guys the dried result, so stay tuned for that. And don't forget about your discount codes below. And let me know what you think in the comments below. All right, everybody, so here is our dry result. It's so pretty, and I think it's going to be so pretty under resin. I know it's hard to get a good idea of that. Pardon the background, but look at the shimmer in that. Woohoo! It's going to be so pretty. So I can't wait to see it under resin, but it dried perfectly. Thank you again for watching. Please don't forget about your discounts below. And like, share, subscribe, all those good things. And don't forget to join our Fluid Art group. The link is also below. Thank you again for watching. Have a good day.